Hello and welcome to the EduTalk series hosted by Biotone EduPartner Program, and massage industry experts. As we move through the challenges facing massage schools, students, and practicing therapists during COVID, the EduTalk series hosted by Biotone continues to support virtual learning and building massage community by connecting you with industry experts who share their knowledge and expertise, not only for class discussion, but career success. Today's expert is Jennifer Pressimone, a certified clinical aromatherapist, herbalist, health coach, and educator. She's owner of GenSense and lead instructor at GenSense Aromaversity, a CE broker, NCB, TMB, and NAHA approved aromatherapy school. She's vice president and regional director with NAHA, the National Association of Holistic Aromatherapy. And we were lucky enough to have Jennifer present an EduTalk in 2021 on holistic aromatherapy for stress and energy. And she also reviewed two of her books, Holistic Aromatherapy Comprehensive Guide and Aromatherapy Guide for Pets. All of these recordings can be found under the EduTalk tab on biotone.com. Let's listen and learn as Jennifer discusses essential oils for hormones, adrenals, and thyroid balance. She'll share specific herbs and essential oils to support and balance the glandular system. Plus, she'll discuss aromatherapy techniques that can strengthen adrenal, thyroid, and blood sugar functions, helping to balance hormones, moods, emotions, mindset, and motivation. So we have a lot to cover tonight. Thank you so much, Jennifer, for joining us again and sharing your wealth of information. And I am going to turn it over to you, and I'll see you on the other side.
Thank you so much. I am excited to be here with you all. And I am going to get my screen shared here for you. I hope all of you are doing really well. And I know it's been a crazy few years. And as we get into our new routines, there's always something that we should be working on. And so I'm very happy to be talking to you about hormones, adrenals, and thyroid balance. So first, I just want to thank you for being here. I know that your time is very valuable, but I'm going to help you because you're committing time to me. I'm going to commit time to you to help you smell your way to balance. And if we had smell-o-vision, then you would be smelling lavender right now. And so we've already gone through my bio. I am a clinical aromatherapist and herbalist. I've been doing this for about 20 years. I've been teaching at my aromaversity for 20 years as well. I do product formulations, coaching, motivational stuff. And my favorite roles is I'm a pet mom, an auntie, and a great auntie. And so with this background, I'm able to share my experiences, my firsthand experiences, my education, my training, my research. So I would love for you guys to, if you have any questions, let me know, because I want to be here to help you gain what you need to help yourself, to help your family, and to help your clients. First and foremost, my disclaimer information that I'm providing you is for educational purposes only. It is not intended to treat, diagnose, prescribe, or replace professional medical guidance. So let's talk about the glandular system. Yes, I said hormones, thyroid, and adrenal, but we know that they are a part of a bigger system, right? And so if we look at every organ, every process, every tissue, everything in the body, all of the symptoms that go with it, that's like a million things. That's so much. But if we break things down by body system, then we're looking at 12 different categories instead of hundreds and thousands and millions of things at once. And so it's going to make it more manageable for you, not only to understand, but for you to retain and retrieve anytime you're helping yourself or helping somebody else. And so we have the 4 pillars here of the glandular system, and the glandular system's role is to provide balance, right? And so you see I've got the stones over here on the side to represent balance, the 4 pillars. So physiologically, we're going to look at organ and structure performance and how we can enhance that and balance that. Psychologically, we're going to look at mental and emotional stability. Energetically, our intuitive and instinctive connection. And biochemically, we're going to look at the nervous system and where there's certain intersections that occur. And so particularly, we're going to look at the gut brain. We know that this is a bi-directional communication system. So thyroid, adrenal hormones, all of these operate and talk to each other and talk to us and send smoke signals to us when it's not happy via the nervous system. And so we have to look at how is the gut and the brain talking to each other. The vagus nerve is the way that it communicates. That's the grand highway, right? The major highway that's creating this. We're looking at metabolism. So we know thyroid is associated with metabolism, which stands for movement. How is the movement going on in our body, and where do we need to balance it, right? Where is it excess? Where is it deficient? How do we balance that? Neurotransmissions. This is standing for our actions. How are we acting? How are our body, our functions, our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions, how are they acting? Our hormone delivery system is connected with how we feel. And looking at the HPA axis, the hypothalamus pituitary axis, adrenal axis, this is where we are connected to intuition. So our hypothalamus, pituitary, and adrenal, all of this works together. We're not separating these out. You can't separate them out. They're intersections. And so it's at that intersection that is going to help you understand not only what's wrong, but what remedies do you need to put together to help you bring that back into balance. So I want to give you an analogy. I want to give you a different way of looking at the glandular system, right? So the glandular system role, the roles within this system, it provides a tarp. And we know we use tarps to protect our car, protect belongings, protect something. And so our glandular system protects us through this tarp. We know we have the gastrointestinal, the liver, the kidneys, the immune systems, the nervous system, all that are supporters. But the tarp, on the 4 corners of the tarp, we have thyroid, responsible for our metabolism and our gas pedal, how quickly we go, but also the brake. I should have included the brake here because are we going or are we stopping? The adrenals is our fight or flight, our fluid regulators, and it assists in reproduction. Our reproductive system for hormone balance and stability and communication, and our fertility system. And then with the pancreas, you know, it's providing digestive enzymes, so helping us digest our nutrients and eliminate the waste, as well as managing our blood sugar, which is an important role. So when we look at the intersection between pancreas and kidney, we know kidney manages our minerals and our electrolyte balance. And when that goes haywire, our pancreas, our blood sugar starts going off. And then all of these other things don't work. Right. It's like you're at the beach and it's very windy and you're trying to hold down your tarp or your blanket on the 4 corners, and one keeps flying up and it's messing everything up. So we are going to look at certain ways you can do aromatically and herbally to balance all of these together. So what are some glandular problems? Physically, this may be you, or was you at one day this month. Hormone balance. So is there PMS going on? How is the skin doing? Do you have cystic acne? Because usually that's a sign of a hormone imbalance. Little tiny bumps is more of a bacterial type of acne, but the cystic tells us hormones are not in balance. Is there hot flashes or heat surges, as people call them, headaches, weight issues, low energy, fatigue, exhaustion. How is your sleep? Are you sleeping really good, or do you have insomnia? If you're having trouble getting to sleep or staying asleep, that all means something. How is your memory and your focus and concentration? Do you have some hair thinning? Is your hair falling out? Or alopecia, or hair dump is a new term that we're seeing a lot more lately. And then blood sugar imbalances. And then emotionally, looking at our emotional imbalances. Is this you? Was this you earlier today? If so, I'm glad you're here because we can smell some oils. But if you have ever felt unloved, unwanted, lonely, abandoned, you're not able to communicate clearly, you feel misunderstood or you feel judged, you don't feel valued and appreciated, you don't feel seen and heard, and looking at bitterness, resentment, anger, envy, jealousy, mental sluggishness and indecisiveness, you're just scattered. These are unhealthy emotional imbalances that are connected when your glandular system is imbalanced. So we're not even going to talk, is it hormones? Is it adrenal? Is it thyroid? Is it pancreas? We just know it's related to the glandular system. So the goal is to find balance, right? With work, with life, and whatever else that you need in relationship, in your environment, and in projects that you're doing. We want to find this balance. And so the goal is to have healthy physical glandular results. And it's easy to say, oh, don't stress, be healthy. Well, what does healthy look like? I wanted to give you a visual. You have optimum weight and metabolism, optimum hormone and GI functions, low stress, low anxiety, low depression. That's not even popping up. Because we know with anxiety, usually the liver is like freaking out. And with depression, we know it feels like it's been beaten with a bat. It's very just, depressed down. You're sleeping really good. You're getting a great night's sleep. Great cognitive functions, brain functions. You have so much energy and so many ideas, and you're able to keep up with them all and shut it off without the mental chatter before bed. You have blood sugar is in balance. With emotional health related to the glandular system, you have a balanced mood. You're positive. You have a positive mindset. Joyful, you have contentment. You're satisfied, fulfilled. You're energized, motivated, creative, focused. You're able to articulate what you mean and communicate clearly. You feel nurtured and nourished. You feel stable, grounded, and comforted. You make better decisions with effective solutions. So as I'm going through these, I want you to use this as an assessment for yourself, but also I want you to pick up on keywords. When you do it for yourself, you're now going to have firsthand experience with what is my glandular system balanced, because there's going to be keywords that you're going to be hearing from your clients that you're working with, that when they're talking, when they're getting their massage or they're getting a body treatment, there might be things that they say. And then if you recognize any of them, you can go, man, she just said 3 things that was on that emotional list. Glandular system. Let me pay some extra attention to the glandular system. Let me really work and use some extra energy and maybe some extra aromatherapy oil on those glandular regions. And then also for reflexology, it gives you some idea of some areas that you want to enhance. And then when you go and you work those areas, you're like, yep, I was right. Because anytime you have confirmation, what they're saying, what they're feeling, what you know that they're feeling by their tension spots, you now have confirmation of what's going on with them, which is going to help you help them even stronger. So the solutions, what is the solutions? So how can you build a stronger TARP? Stronger TARP for your body. So lifestyle habits, obviously, doing things that serve you and don't harm you or others. Sleeping a minimum of 6 to 7 hours uninterrupted. And, some people might be laughing, and I was one of them, until I realized, no, if I commit in my schedule to stop my schedule at this time, I'm giving myself a 2-hour window to calm, to get prepared, and then enter in a good night's sleep. I've scheduled that on my calendar. I have enough time for the things I schedule. I just had to schedule in turning things off and getting a good night's sleep and doing things, my aromatherapy blends, my meditations, turning off the lights and not having light stimulate that pineal gland before bed. Those were things that helped me. So you have to find what your sleep routine is going to be so you can get that 6 to 7 uninterrupted hours. Nutrition, eating right for you. There's all kind of diets out there, but which one is right for you? And look at that. Movement, of course, yoga, running, walking, massage, stress management, having fun, laughing, being happy and productive, and just, free for a moment of the constraints of the stresses that you're under. Cleaning green, your body, mind, and house. And then herbs and aromatherapy, which is where we're going to spend the rest of this time. So the power of aromatherapy, many of you already know how powerful aromatherapy is. It activates the limbic system, which is how we communicate. And, the past few years, people experiencing COVID and COVID loss, their olfaction loss, really saw the power of our olfactory system. Whenever you can't smell, it really was affecting cognitive functions, brain functions, emotional balance. People were more lonely. They felt more abandoned. They were more stressed, anxious, depressed, a lot more going on than people were prepared for. And so now we are in a state of mental health isn't as strong as it once was years ago. So anything that you do, working with your clients, working with yourself, there needs to be an element of mental health support, and aromatherapy falls into that category. We're using it to shift, inspire us, motivate us, convert our feelings and thoughts into positive, healthy behaviors. It's enhancing how our hormones get delivered, the messages that are being sent at the rate they're being sent, and being delivered to the right locations, balancing the metabolism, calming and balancing our nervous system, as well as stimulating our energy, our stamina, our endurance, and our perseverance, which leads to emotional resilience. Some supporting science that I thought was interesting for you. Memories triggered by scent have a stronger emotional connection and more intense than any other memory triggered by sight, sound, or touch. So what does that mean? When you are trying to balance your emotions and create that stronger TARP, you're balancing your thyroid, adrenal, and hormones and blood sugar, we need to match scents up, because then your body has this scent memory of, oh, when I smell this scent, this needs to go into balance. When I smell this scent, this needs to go in balance. And so we're making that scent association. Adrenal burnout is associated with decreased limbic function. So your smell fuels your fuel, right? Your fuel, your adrenal fuel to go, give. Scent is going to help with that. Now, if you give, and you don't replenish, scent can only do so much, right? But it is a tool to help you get through the emotional marathon and the adrenal marathon you need to get through while replenishing you. So scent will be one of those key tools to help replenish as you give and balance. The thyroid is linked to cognitive performance and neuroendocrine and metabolic health. So thinking, memory, decision-making, metabolism, hormone, and neurotransmitter messaging, we know there's a huge connection here between the neuroendocrine system, our gut-brain communication, and the entire glandular system. And thyroid is a catalyst to help with that. So let's talk a little bit of safety. So we just want to be responsible and educated in what you are doing. So if you're going to be using essential oils in practice, you want to make sure that you're using oils that you're familiar with and you know what the contraindications are. So there is a lot more science now that we can use as a tool to help us know which oils to use for certain situations and which ones not to use. Keeping them away from kids, pets, and those that have cognitive deficits are going to be important. And then you want to use caution whenever there's serious health conditions going on. And so you want to look at the essential oil safety contraindications. So if you're working with a client and they're having certain health issues going on and you're going to be using particular essential oils, then you just want to look at, is that oil going to be safe with that condition? And a perfect example here is somebody with blood disorders or who bruises easier, has very thin skin. Using oils that are not blood thinning. So cinnamon, hyssop, and wintergreen are 3 particular essential oils that have blood thinning properties. So for somebody going into surgery or post-surgery, you wouldn't want to use these oils for at least 2 weeks. I like to give it about 3 weeks. And I recently had to have some surgery. And so I had to be mindful of the essential oils that I used. And I did use a blend with cinnamon in it 2 weeks out, and there was some excess bleeding and bruising. So for me, it was a sign that, okay, I'm going to wait 3 weeks. I'm going to be a little bit more conservative because I want to help, not harm. So I'm going to tell you 3 weeks before, 3 weeks after. Let's just be careful here. There's some oils, especially your citrus oils, that are photosensitive. You want to be mindful of skin sensitization. So using undiluted oils can cause that sensitization. Proper dilutions and exposure, being cautious during pregnancy of the oils that you're using. And if you go to the NAHA website, naha.org, and then I've got the link here for you, there are some other safety tips. So again, I just want you to practice safe and responsible aromatherapy. So using the aromatherapy TARP for balance and support. So we want to match up the right essential oils to the needs. So in your intake and assessing yourself, what do you need? And then we're going to look at what direction of support do we need. We want to support ourselves from all 4 directions in all 4 directions. That's that bi-directional communication. We want to strengthen all 4 wheels. So the 4 wheels on your car is this TARP, thyroid, adrenal, reproductive, and pancreas. That's what TARP stands for. And oftentimes we're always focused on what's wrong. Let me fix what's wrong, but we forget to support what's already right. If there's things already working that are strong, let's keep them strong. Let's say thank you for being strong, and I'm going to continue helping you be strong. So in aromatherapy, we want to strengthen our strengths and strengthen our weaknesses. Adaptogen in nature. So using herbals that are adaptogen in nature. Essential oils are adaptogens. There's going to be some more adaptogenic than others. And then using it consistently, 2 to 3 times a day. I always say breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you should be smelling an oil, before you eat. So let's look at each pillar here. So let's start with thyroid, and thyroid is our place of balance in metabolism. So we want to do a directional assessment. Do you need to stimulate the thyroid? Do you need to rev it up? Or do you need to calm and relax it? Do you need cooling essential oils or herbs, or do you need heating ones? Cooling, there's too much heat going on, so we need to cool it down, or it's too cold, right? So you think of cold hands, nose, ears, and toes, right? The extremities are cold. We know metabolism is more sluggish. We need to heat it up and ignite that fire. Then you would want heating ones. So oils that are very beneficial for thyroid are going to fall under herbal, spice, and tree oils. And so, many of you know essential oils. They come in these bottles here, and You can smell them. I wish you could smell that through here, but you see there's an orifice reducer top. So to get these essential oils, they're all coming from its corresponding plant, right? So lavender. So if we take lavender, we're going to take the flowers and the leaves off, we're going to distill it, and we're going to get a liquid solution. And so the fat molecules of that is the essential oils, right? So essential oils are fat molecules, not water molecules. And so what we're looking at is pure essential oils, not fragrances, not synthetic, but essential oils that are in the herb category, such as thyme, oregano, cilantro, spices such as cinnamon, ginger, nutmeg, and tree oils. Eucalyptus is a tree, frankincense is a tree, cypress, cedar. So that's what I mean when I'm giving you these indicators. I'm just trying to make some quick assessments for you. So anytime you think thyroid, these will be the first three that you go to. On an emotional level, when you're not speaking up for yourself, that's connected with thyroid. When thyroid's out of balance, you won't be speaking up for yourself. So you may know the physical imbalance, which you're now going to know the emotional counterpart, or you may know the emotional imbalance and now you know the physical counterpart. These go hand in hand. When you have stuck emotions, you feel stagnant, indecisive, lost, you feel defeated. You have a sluggish metabolism, your hair is thinning, brittle nails, lymph congestion, weight imbalances. All of these are signs that your thyroid is not happy. These are smoke signals that your body is sending to you. So aromatically, this is your solutions. So I've broken it down in 3 categories. So if you need cooling oils, you're going to look at lemon and myrrh. If you need to stimulate and rev up the thyroid, then we're going to look at black pepper and rosemary. And to balance the thyroid, hey, it's doing great, or it's just slightly off, we just want to bring it into balance. That's going to be myrtle and ylang ylang. And you are going to get an ebook, and I do have these charts in the ebook that I am providing to you. So you will have this. Now, to balance, you can do myrtle and ylang ylang, but you can also do lemon and black pepper together in equal parts to bring balance. You're bringing in a cooling and a stimulating oil, but together they create a harmonious balance. So the reason you would do lemon is if you need to find your light, you are lost and you need to find your way. Lemon shines a light on you so you can be seen and heard and valued and appreciated. It helps with pH balance. Myrrh helps you speak up for yourself. So when I've worked with our autistic school, and I've worked with children with mutism or speech issues, even for adults or anyone who's had a stroke and having some speech issues, I use myrrh for speech. So that could be beneficial, that you might want to include in a blend. So to cool things down, you could do lemon and myrrh together, or just do one. To stimulate, black pepper is going to boost the metabolism. Rosemary helps to infuse and motivate and create movement for self-love and motivation. Myrtle helps to support and motivate the metabolism. And ylang ylang is a balancer. So this is how you can use these charts to find a solution. What oils do you have, first of all? And then what purpose do you need them for, or to serve in a blend that you're going to create for your client or yourself? The adrenals for energy and mindset. We're going to do directional assessment. Do you need to stimulate, rev it up, or do you need to calm and relax it? Do you need cooling or heating? And so here we're going to look at fruits, grasses, and tree oils. An emotional level, this is where we have motivation, ambition, lethargy, self-worth, jumpy, paranoia, worry. Physically, energy levels are going to be off. There might be more headaches, skin issues, lower back pain, right? Because the adrenals sit right on top of the kidneys, GI upset, sleep issues, insomnia. So remedies to cool off heated adrenals, we're going to look at pine for resilience and a positive mindset. Pine is also significant if you ever feel burned or you have a burning sensation. Pine is synonymous with the keyword of burn. Vetiver helps you stay focused. It's very good for the root chakra and to have balance. To stimulate the adrenals and get them going because they're completely wiped out, we need lemongrass to inspire personal power. Tanacetum annuum or blue tansy is one of my favorite for adrenals, especially to help set healthy boundaries. Right? Oftentimes you get mad because somebody invaded your space, but you have to go back and say, did I set the right boundary, and let them know what that boundary was? So this is really good for that. If you want to learn a little bit more about other ways to set healthy boundaries and what oils you could do, I have a really good blog on setting boundaries on my website. For balance, we're going to look at holy basil. And holy basil, we know, is a powerful adaptogenic herb. And in essential oil form, it's also adaptogenic in nature. So it helps you connect your passion with your purpose. Sweet orange infuses creativity and revitalization. I love orange too. So if I make a good adrenal blend, sometimes I will do all 6 of these together because that creates balance. I've got 2 cooling, 2 stimulating, which equal balance. And then I have 2 balanced that continue to balance. And so you can do them individually, you can do them in any combination, but look at the purpose of what you or your client needs. For reproductive and hormones, this is where we have mood and cognition. Does it need to be stimulated or does it need to be calm and relaxed, cooling or heating? So you're going to look to your herbs, your flowers, and your tree oils. This is where we hold the emotions of self-love, hard to receive, you have a scattered mind, mood swings, anger, anxiety. There's going to be some PMS, some hot flashes, acne, exploding headaches. And sometimes there's a hook headache, usually right over the right side. And there's going to be some hair loss here as well, because we know that there's a hormonal imbalance with the thyroid. And so they work, it's that intersection of thyroid and reproductive that's causing that hair loss. And so looking at aromatic remedies, your cooling oils, frankincense is going to be cooling. It helps you convert fear into courage. Lemon is good here as well for lymph movement. Peppermint is going to cool the anger. We know we hold anger in the liver. To stimulate and get things moving that are sluggish. Clary sage is good to convert hurt into joy. For geranium, it is good to help whenever you feel discouraged or have lack of hope. So if a client is telling you, man, I don't feel hopeful, geranium. For rose, this is very good for high blood pressure, HBP standing for high blood pressure, depression, self-worth. Another one that's really good here would be ylang ylang. So if you don't have rose, but you have the ylang ylang, that would be good. And then balancers, natural balancers, neroli for mental strength. Palmarosa is going to help to harmonize emotions, especially spastic emotions. Chamomile is a nurturer. It's helpful to for self-care. And you think of caregivers, right? Caregivers, but also the person being cared for. Chamomile is synonymous with caregiving and nurturing. For the pancreas, this is where we have motivation and will. So our directional assessment, does it need to be stimulated? Does it need to be calm? Does it need to be balanced? Cooling, heating. Here we're going to look at spices and herbs. Doesn't mean you don't look at others. It doesn't mean you don't use fruits, because you certainly could and should use fruits, but this is going to be primary. It's like having a rock band. You have a lead singer and backup singers. Your spice and your herbs are going to be your lead singers. And then you can fill it in with some backup singers and instruments to kind of fill out and harmonize the melody, right? So emotions here is lost sweetness, lost your joy in life, lost your laughter. You feel more bitterness, brain fog, confusion, memory loss, blood sugar issues, usually synonymous with dizziness, hearing, ringing in the ears, hearing loss, urinary and GI upset. You feel shaky and nauseous. And your oils here, your aromatic support Your cooling aromatics are going to be cardamom. They help to sweeten your emotions. They help you find your sweetness and enjoy the sweetness in others. Grapefruit for bitterness and resentment. The stimulating oils are thyme to invigorate your purpose. Coriander is refreshing, right? We know in salsa it's very good because it's fresh. Same thing with our mind. It's just giving us a fresh perspective and nourishing. And then balancers are going to be cinnamon. Cinnamon is a hug in a bottle, as I've always teaching it. It's just like giving yourself a big hug. So it's comfort in a bottle. Lime is really fun, and it helps you to adapt to change. You know, we've been shifting and pivoting and adapting like crazy. Lime is very good to help with that. So is spearmint. And so we look at peppermint to take in new ideas, but to really adapt, I like to do lime and spearmint together. You know, and anytime you're working on creating healthy habits or creating a habit, you want to add in some of the balancers and the adaptogens. So your application methods, inhalation sessions, your mindset and mood, right? So using a diffuser, but say that you don't want to plug in a diffuser, get a bowl of Epsom salt and sprinkle your oils on there and mix it up and just leave the lid off. And that's going to serve as a non-electric diffuser. Using nasal atomizers, right? So you take your nasal atomizers, these have your scent sticks in here, you know, that go inside. And so you can smell your atomizers. Doing your necklace diffusers or your earring diffusers can be helpful. If you wear a bandana or a scarf, you know, having that on as well. Topical, making sure you're putting it in a carrier to be safe, because there's a lot of health conditions going on that could be affected by undiluted applications. So I'm a big advocate of diluted applications in a carrier. Looking at a roll-on, you know, a massage cream, looking at sprays, looking at massage oils, a bath salt, or in your scrubs, your body scrubs. So for some recipes, I have all of these recipes. I'll just go through a couple here, but you have these in the ebook that you're going to receive. But to have a balancing roll-on, say that you're like, man, I need all that. Put all that in a bottle for me. Okay, here you go. So here's the recipe. In a roll-on, we're going to put in, so taking a roll-on, you're going to put in your essential oils. So I'm doing frankincense here to support the reproductive, but it also supports thyroid and adrenal too. Geranium, I love frankincense and geranium together. Fun fact, one of the very first soaps that I ever made when I first started my company was frankincense and geranium, and we called it Hormone Balance. And then we found out more men loved it. I had the wives coming in to buy it, and they're like, my husband loves this, but can you like not put the label on it? He doesn't want to see the word hormone. So I eventually dropped the word hormone and just called it balance, and then they loved it. So women love it too, but it was something that I found men liked as well. Clary sage for adrenal and reproductive support, myrtle for thyroid support, cinnamon for pancreas, orange for adrenal support. And then I've given you the botanical names here with the amount of drops that I would put in there. A recipe here for mood swings to help stabilize mood swings with geranium, clary sage, lavender, and neroli. And you could use this in a roll-on or in a nasal atomizer. Some herbal support, your omega-3s and 6, maca, adaptogenic herbs. St. John's wort I do like for here, but not if you're taking an antidepressant. It's contraindicated with those medications. And then I've given you a lymphatic movement body oil, pink grapefruit, lemongrass, rosemary, black pepper, in a carrier oil, can really support, and you know, always that small circular motions is going to be helpful. So some references, you know, I've taken this material. I do have a school at the Jen Sense Aromaversity, so I certify you in holistic, professional, and clinical aromatherapy. I do have continuing education master classes. I am approved with NCBT and B, so any of the classes that you take, you do get CE credits. And then I also have my comprehensive guide here where I have a ton of information on body systems, gut, brain, circadian rhythm, the neurological system. But I've also profiled 109 oils and given you over 60 recipes, therapeutic health recipes in here. And I've got that on sale for you for 10% off. And then also at the Aromaversity, like I said, I am a NAHA approved school, National Association of Holistic Aromatherapy. And I'm also able to provide CEs through CE Broker to massage therapists and nursing board and registered dietitians in Florida. And then for massage therapy through NCBTMB as well. And I am going to offer you 10% off of my programs. Here is the code. And so you can just hop over to jensensaromaversity.com. I do have that link in the ebook. So if you're scrambling to find a pen, don't worry, you've got that. And then EduTalk 2022 is going to be your special code that I've created for you that you'll get 10% off through September 30th if you want to enhance, whether you're learning it for yourself or learning it to add on something to your business or to enhance your business services as well. So thank you. Excuse me. So my contact information, you can just hit the contact me at my website. And then I do have social media that you're able to follow me on. And then I want to save some time to answer any questions that you have. So Donnell, I'll send it back over to you.
Unmute my audio. For some reason, I can never find. Let's see, now start my video. Okay, hi again. That was fabulous. That was fabulous. And we did have some chats, and I'd like to encourage folks to please, while Jennifer is still on the call, let's send in your questions. And now let me scroll down. So let's see. Teresa is asking, would you mind asking Jen if essential oils will be more stimulating or affect differently for someone that has had 1/2 of their kidney removed? I feel like I have sluggish metabolism and energy after having 1/2 of my left kidney removed 5 years ago. And
well, kidney is the place.
I don't know if age has anything to do with it, but she threw that in too.
I mean, we look at the body as a whole, right? And so we can label everything, but we want to just go back and find what are these signals telling us, right? Because it's your way that your body is communicating with you to say, hey, this is imbalanced. And whatever label we put on it, the function is out of balance. Let's go put the function back in balance. And so with kidney, we know this is it's our point of where willpower and motivation and fear, but balance, right? It's our electrical system. When the kidneys are not there, and so you're missing some of the kidney, we know there's going to be some electrical shortages, meaning that, say that we were on this and there's glitches and I'm cutting out every other word. That's what's happening with the system. So what we have to do is go and strengthen the rest of the TARC, right? So adrenal, T for thyroid, A for adrenal, R for reproductive, P for pancreas. So think of your body as a car, and your thyroid and adrenal are your two front tires. So adrenal has a flat tire. Well, thank goodness your body isn't like your real vehicle. It's still going to work for you and still go. It's just going to limp. Right. So now we have to really support the thyroid, really support the reproductive, and really support the pancreas to bring balance and to compensate for the adrenal. And I'm saying the adrenal because, it sits on top of the kidney. And so especially for the adrenal sitting on top of the kidney that's not there, we want to give some extra support. So working on the entire TARP simultaneously is going to be a key. And I can see somebody else had asked that question, can you work on these issues simultaneously? Absolutely, because that's what aromatherapy does. Is it balances your body and it revs you up and calms you down in all the places that you need it at the same time. And when you mix them together, the synergy of that is supportive. So, working on the adrenal, and I would really work on balancing the adrenals, but also balancing the rest of the TARP, to finish answering your question, to balance the rest of the TARP, to give you the support that you're looking for. And you've got to be consistent. I always say it takes 30 days to stop a problem, 30 days to repair the damage, and another 30 plus days to rebuild. So you want to give yourself consistency with this for a good 30 days before you start seeing some more significant results. But then you need to keep it up for a minimum of 90 to 120 days to keep sustaining those results.
Another question, is there anything to use and substitute for grapefruit? I have a lot of clients that are allergic to grapefruit.
Yeah, so grapefruit is a good one. So here we need to talk about if they're truly allergic to grapefruit, are they allergic to the pulp, or are they taking a medication such as a statin that it's contraindicated? In that case, citrus oils, you can get two different types of citrus oils. You can get oils that are cold expressed from the rind. So if it says that it's expressed or cold expressed from the rind, that's not contraindicated with the grapefruit that they say don't do with, medications. But if it's coming from the pulp, so you're steam distilled, we're seeing a lot more steam distilled essential oils. Those are contraindicated. So I just want to make that clarification about grapefruit. And then looking for a substitute, number one, what are you using the grapefruit for? If you're using it for lymphatic support and lymphatic movement and lymphatic congestion, then find another lymphatic decongestant, such as lemon would be a good one, cypress or patchouli. Lemon, cypress, and or patchouli would be alternatives if your purpose is for lymphatic decongestant. If your purpose is something else, then we need to find another one that does that benefit.
Very good. And allergic to all citrus, using for lymphatic was a comment.
If you're allergic to if you're allergic to citrus, then don't do it. You'll find other oils that are lymphatic decongestants, like, the cypress and the patchouli that I mentioned, and there's others, frankincense even. So if there's an allergy, a true allergy, then certainly don't include that in the treatment.
Okay. And I think that's it. I think we covered all the questions, Jennifer. I did have one, because you had a code for the classes to use to receive a discount. On the book, the comprehensive guide, it said 10%. Is that something that they need a code for?
It's the same code. Okay. Sorry about that. Yes, same code. So the EduTalk 2022 is going to give you the discount on the book and on the classes as well.
Sorry, I missed a question. What is the best non-nut carrier oil?
You've got several options. Apricot is going to be a good one. I have a blog where I give you the list. These are nut oils. These are non-nut oils. So if you go to the gensense.com and then you click on the blog and you just type in nut, that blog will pop up and I list them out. That way you have a visual, you can copy and paste it and save it or print it out and save it for especially clients coming in that says, I can't do any nuts.
Well, great. Well, that looks like we've covered all the questions and comments. And thank you so much. This was wonderful. I'd like to mention to everyone that, again, tomorrow you'll receive a follow-up email. It will include today's recording link, Jennifer's contact information, her website, and it will include links to today's recording and her 2021 recording and the EduTalk Author Series recordings reviewing her books. And I'll put the code in the email as well. So that should take us up to date tomorrow. Please watch your in basket. And then looking ahead, August 23rd, we have Felicia Brown, and she's returning and will present on smart startup strategies for new and existing practices. And then in September, we start the EduTalk series on September 13th with a special 1-hour presentation with James Weslowski and Dr. Carrie D'Ambrosia, and they will present on clinical reasoning for your practice, total body versus local approach to knee lesions. And then September 27th, we have the president of the Massage Therapy Foundation, Adrian Asta, and she will present, I feel like it's a call to action, so please join us. Massage therapists, engage in research via the Massage Therapy Foundation's Massage Net. And it's already up on the Massage Therapy Foundation website. But do join us for these upcoming talks. And anything in closing, Jennifer? Anything, any last words?
Use your aromatherapy.
That's
I think it's so powerful that it's anytime, just grab an oil, make sure it's a pure oil, but just grab your oil and smell it, because when you do that, it shifts you. And by smelling it, I'm different than I was a few seconds ago. And so when you're having a rough day, there's challenges going on, your clients are having a rough day, and you just need to calm them down and balance. Because usually I always say it takes an hour of a massage just to calm you down. You need a 2-hour massage, so you really get the benefit of the second. But if you can add the aromatherapy into that and bring some balance, then they're going to get greater benefit. You're going to get that reciprocal energetic benefit as well.
And I'll just go back to the beginning of your presentation when you started with lavender. I feel so calm now.
That's for you.
I feel so calm. So thank you so much. Thank you everyone for joining us. Be safe and join us again for our upcoming EduTalks. Thank you, Jennifer. Take care.
Thank you. Have a great night, everybody.